Hi everybody, welcome to On the Spectrum Kitchen. Now you're going to find this a little bit hard to believe, but today is World Dugong Day. I know what you're thinking, what in the world is a dugong? It's actually known as the sea cow. I'll put some more information in the description below about the creature, but what you really should know is actually endangered. So I'll be making a cupcake called Save the Dugongs. It's going to be a blueberry cake topped with vanilla icing, and it's going to be decorated to look like seagrass and garnished with a little piece of the coral reef. I'll explain all that as the time comes, but get this. All of this is going to be vegan. That's right, no eggs, no dairy, nothing. Alrighty, let's get baking. Alright, so first things first, we're going to work on the blueberry puree. So what you want to do is add 1 cup of fresh or frozen blueberries and add a 1/4 cup of water. Place your lid on the blender. Now I can't seem to find the other little lid that blocks the liquid from coming out, so I'm going to improvise with this. Now, a little tip. If you can't stand the noise of a blender, no shame, I can't stand it either. So either click mute or cover your ears because this is going to get loud. Find it loud anyway. Okay, not as loud as possible. You. That should be good enough. See? Typically that little part helps block the liquid. Sorry, that's what I thought. So we're going to grab a little jug of your choice. I'm going to move the blender so you can see. Just use whatever you want. That's what I'm using. Here it is. And we're going to run it through a strainer. This is going to help get rid of all the skin. And by skin, I mean the, I don't know if you can see it, but the outer skin of the blueberry. Oh, depending on the size of your bowl, be careful not to get it everywhere. If you see what's going on, either slow down or stop. Oh, mine wasn't as bad as I originally thought. Now, if your strainer is still having trouble going down, I recommend grabbing a spoon and carefully getting it all through the sifter or strainer or whatever you're using. What this will do, it'll block the skin from exiting and keeping all the necessary liquid in. Alright, a little of the skin got in there, but you know what, that's okay. This is what you should be left with. And it's dripping all over my floor. Okay. So we're going to set that aside. We're going to clean up, and I will set up, and we'll get started on the cupcake. Alrighty. Now that we're finally all set up, we'll start with the... Try to look over here. Wait a second. The dry ingredients. Start with a 1 2/3 cup of flour, 1 teaspoon of baking soda powder, 1 teaspoon of baking powder. Do what the recipe says, not as I say. I don't know what happens there. 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda. This one's baking soda, last one's baking powder. And 1/2 teaspoon of salt. Now this is optional, but you can add 1 tablespoon of blueberry powder to give it more extra blueberry flavor. Now I don't have blueberry powder, so I'm not doing that this time, which I'm a little bummed about. Anyway, whisk until combined. Alright. So we're going to set this aside for a minute. Alright, next we are going to add, oh, I almost forgot. This is optional. Before we add the sugar, you can zest 2 lemons and rub it into the sugar. That's optional. I'm not doing that, but that's optional for you. So what we're doing is adding half a cup of softened butter. Full disclosure, I'm using vegan butter, so it kind of softened too fast. But at least it's softened. And we will add 1 cup of granulated sugar. And we're going to add half a cup of vegetable oil. This is sink. Next, we are going to cream until light and fluffy. Don't go too fast. Like, this decent amount of speed is fine. So this will take a few minutes. Alright, that should be light and fluffy enough. Now, next part, we're going to do something a little different. Since we're not going to use eggs in this recipe, we're going to use instead of using 2 eggs, we're going to use half a cup of applesauce. The key is to add a 1/4 cup of applesauce at a time. I'm going to get a spoon so I can get some more of it out. Then mix until combined. It should look like how it normally does when you add eggs. Alrighty. Better. Now mix until combined. Oh, you know what? I think I may have done that wrong. My bad. Oh well, what are you gonna do about it? Oh, no, I'm doing it right. Alright, next. Now, instead of 2 egg whites, we're going to use 4 tablespoons of aquafaba. Now I'm just thinking, what is aquafaba? It's the brine you find in chickpeas in the can. So to replace 2 egg whites, you need 2 tablespoons. It'll be 2 tablespoons per egg white. Since we're using 2, we're going to add 4 tablespoons of aquafaba or chickpea brine if you want. They're super easy to find. All you got to do is just look for a can of chickpeas and there you are. Alright, next we're going to add 1 teaspoon of vanilla. And then mix until combined. This will take a few minutes as well. Alright, now I'm going to move the puree aside and we'll get to that in a minute. Now we're going to alternate between adding the remaining ingredients, which I just remembered. Milk in the fridge. Okay. And I also realized I forgot to mix half a cup, so I'm gonna fix that for y'all. See, 1/8, 1/4, and half. Now don't worry, I'm not actually using actual buttermilk. What we're going to be using is vegan buttermilk. You can either use your own or you can make it online. That's up to you. Okay, come I'm sorry, I'm drawing a blank. Am I on a roll today, guys, or what? Oh, you were supposed to add the half a cup of vegan buttermilk with 1/3 cup of vegan sour cream. Okay, that was what I'm going to do. Don't worry, I'm going to swing it in you. Then you whisk it up to combine, then you set it aside with the rest. Sorry about that. Anyway, you know, the recipe is going to be in the description, so do what that says and not really what I say. Okay. Now we're going to alternate adding 3 different batches of the dry ingredients, along with the dairy mixture, and the air quotes. Okay, full disclosure, I'm super paranoid of getting splattered everywhere, so... Oh. What am I wrong? Alright, now mix until combined and alternate adding between the batches. Feel free to scrape the sides if needed. Now my batter may look a little different than it's supposed to because I let the butter soften too long. The vegan butter to be specific. Little tip, when you're using vegan butter and you have to soften it, eyeball it, don't leave the room like I did. We'll learn the hard way. Now it's going to look a little palish, but that's expected. You know what we're working with, but that's what the puree is for. Oh, but wait, there's something else you should know. If you don't want that, if you don't want to use puree, that's totally fine. Just take the 1 cup of the blueberries along with 1 tablespoon of flour and just mix it together in a bowl. I'm just gonna stop this for a minute so I can scrape the sides. Alright, now add the last batch of each. Oops. Almost let that get out of control. Scrape the sides of the bowl as needed, remember that. Alright, make sure you don't overmix, otherwise the batter is going to be super dense. Learn that the hard way. Okay, that should pretty much do it. If you still see some sides that are not entirely taken care of, that's okay. Just simply stir them in by hand carefully. It's actually looking better than I originally thought it would. Next, we are going to add the puree. Finally. Huh. Time for them to kind of congeal on me. That's okay. It's still being used, so what difference does it make, right? Actually, I might find out. Now, the reason it's going to look blue is because dugongs are known as the cow of the sea. So, we're trying to make it look like the ocean. If it's not, like, blue enough, just add a couple drops of... You know what? I'm going to do that now. I'm going to add just a few simple drops of blue food color. It's light or dark, I couldn't care which. That's a good. Oh, just more navy blue, right? I'm assuming. So just add a few drops of food color. That's completely optional. Okay, let's try this again. Wait, that's better. I'm just doing this to give it the seed color. That's optional. You don't have to do that. Oh, and the food coloring, also vegan friendly, was not tested on animals. See, that's what I was going for. A nice little blue. I guess with blueberries it's a little different. Alright, I know I'm using some of the old batter in there, but who cares? You're mixing it in anyway. What difference does it make? Alright. Let's get this into cupcake liners, shall we? Alright, let me show you the final product. If you're using food coloring dye, that's what you're going for. If not, you're going for something a little lighter. Okay. That is super heavy. Now, we're going to go silent for a little bit. Because while I'm scooping, it's not really a lot to scoop by. So, I know what you all are wondering, what in the world is a dugong? And I told you I would define him, here it is. It's literally a sea cow. Like the manatee, it's basically the manatee's cousin. Okay, this is gonna get messy quick. Alright, so full disclosure, things did get messy, so I pause the video for a minute. But while I'm cleaning up the bits, I want to talk to you for a minute about the dugong. Now, dugongs are basically the manatee's cousin. They're really known as a sea cow. And like manatees, who prefer freshwater environments, they're more of a marine type animal. They're like 10 feet long, and they scour around the ocean, nibbling at the seagrass and stuff. The reason why they're getting endangered? It's so sad. Pollution, and not to mention there's also threats to fishing and shipments of some kind. I'm assuming animal shipments. But really, the water pollution is destroying their habitats. What if you heard from India? There's not really a lot left. That's why this cupcake is called Save the Dugongs. Hopefully to raise awareness and to stop this mess. Alrighty, this is what it should look like by now. Alright, we're gonna pop this in the oven, which should be preheated to 350. I think I forgot to mention that. Preheat the oven at 350 degrees. Go 1/3 of the way full. And we're gonna bake it for about 18 to 20 minutes until the toothpick comes out clean. Alright, now the cupcakes are almost done cooling. So we're going to take this opportunity to make the coral reef decor. So first off, you're going to melt a vegan-friendly chocolate of choice. And if you're able to, add it to your piping bag, if you have it. Or if you have a chocolate mold, that'd be great too. I don't, so I'm doing this by hand, so bear with me. Well, the coral reefs represents their ocean life. The dugongs, I mean. Alright, so this is a bunch of rocks and information and stuff. So I'm going to do my best. You can probably see it. I'm going to do like, ooh, still have some rocks. Let's see. I think these are looking like corals. I think. I'm trying to make some circles on here. These look more like plants, but I'm not a professional artist, so you're gonna have to bear with me here. Okay, now that just kind of looks like I'm drawing scribbles, like you'd see on a coffee cup, like the heat thing. Okay, so I'm going to be covering here, but I am very bad at drawing, which is why I always prefer chocolate molds because they make it look better. I'm trying to build what I think corals look like. Then again, some of these kind of look like I drew those hand turkeys kids make. You know what I mean? Alright. I'm going to smear that last one with light. Because that one was more sloppier. Okay. Best I got. Let me know in the comments what you think. It's the best I can do. Alright, I'm going to pop these into the freezer and we will get started on the frosting. Alrighty now. Finally, the cupcakes are cooled and the coral reefs are almost done setting. So, I thought something was going on in the background for a second there. So anyway, we're gonna take 1 cup of vegan butter that's been softened. I didn't let it go too crazy this time. Melted butter and frosting doesn't work out so well. Alright, I'm gonna make sure this doesn't hit my copperware. Now we're gonna beat it for a couple of minutes until it's nice and creamy. Don't let it go too fast and don't let it go too slow. Like I said, this is going to take a few minutes. Alright, next we're going to add 2 cups of already sifted powdered sugar. I have a spoon ready just in case I have trouble getting some of it out. It's important to sift the powdered sugar ahead of time because if you don't, there'll be a lot of unpleasant sound. There'll be a lot of clumps of the sugar in the frosting, making it hard to pipe and stuff. I learned that one the hard way. Alright, there we go. Alright. Got a majority of it. Me having the autistic mind. I'm gonna make sure all of it's taken care of. That one will heavy on my wrist. Alright, now we're gonna beat it for a couple more minutes until it's combined. Remember, don't go too fast or there's powder sugar will go everywhere. Now this is gonna take a few minutes for all the sugar and butter to combine, just a heads up. Next we're gonna add 1.5 teaspoons of vanilla extract. You can also use 1 vanilla bean if you want. And we're gonna mix it again until nice and combined. Whoop, too fast. That's better. Alright, this is looking nice and creamy. Now as the frosting combines, you can scrape some of the ends. Next, we're going to add 2 tablespoons of a vegan milk of choice. I'm using soy milk. I'm going to pause the music for a second so I can tell you what else we're going to do. So, for this vanilla frosting, when we pipe it, it's going to look like seagrass, which is what the dugongs eat, otherwise known as seaweed and stuff. So we're going to add a few drops of green food coloring. I bet you're wondering, how come all this is vegan? Well, I will explain in a minute. Right after this is all blended and combined. Whoopsie. Yeah, start by blending a little slow and then increase the speed as you feel a little more comfortable. Like I am now. Okay, a little too fast. Alright, stop once it's all completely green and combined. Okay, little tip. If you're having trouble getting the icing and the food coloring to blend, just finish mixing it by hand. Just don't overmix, otherwise it'll deflate. Alright, this is about as good as I'm gonna get. Now on to piping and assembling. Okay, so after I put my icing in my bag, I popped it in the fridge or the freezer just for a couple of minutes so it can firm up a little. There's a chance it could be a little loose because it's all vegan, but it'll be okay. Alright, now we're going to pipe it like grass as carefully as we can. We're going to do, hope you can see me from here. I'm going to do a drop or two like this. Something sounds bigger, but it looks like it deflated. That may be my doing with the butter. I may have underestimated it. If you feel like it's going to deflate, quickly pop it in the freezer for a few minutes so it can go back up. It's supposed to look like grass, but guess not. Oh well. The key to getting the grass-like feature is to get a Wilton number 223 or 233. Either way, piping tip. The bottom should look like strands of grass. Pipe in a little circle like this. Try to get it around the edges so we can get that more of a feel. So let me tell you a little bit about why this whole thing is vegan. So, as you can see me, I have a cupcake series dedicated to raise awareness of endangered animals, from tigers, lions, elephants, rhinos, you name it. Any animal on the endangered species list needs to be aware that they need to be saved. So each cupcake will have the word "save the" in the title, and we'll say the animal. Like this one, save the dugongs, aka the sea cow. And the reason why this is all vegan, I chose to make them all vegan to make a point about saving the animals. Let me know in the comments how you feel about that. I gotta be honest, I thought about going vegan once, but honestly, I think it only lasts like 10 minutes. Unless it's about baked goods. Anyway, that's just how I feel. Alright, once I'm done piping these, I'm gonna pop these into the fridge and freezer for a few minutes so I can firm up. Okay. Oh, arm hurts. Alright. Well, the majority of them aren't as pretty, but at least I got them on. Now I'm gonna pop these into the freezer for a few minutes so I can get that icing to really form, you know? Okie dokie. I'm gonna close the fridge in a second, but real quick, I just want to show you. See how much firmer this looks? You probably can't tell, but it definitely looks a lot firmer than it did earlier. Now, I'm gonna grab the coral pieces carefully out of the freezer, because I never know what's gonna drop or not, and thankfully this did not. Just grab the prettiest pieces you can with your clean hands, and place it on whatever cupcake you want. I'm not gonna lie, these either look like random doodles or something you'd find in a SpongeBob episode. Some of these babies will do that too. These were supposed to look like corals, I swear. Now, please have not only clean hands, but steady ones, and figure out how to get them less messy as well. You're supposed to look very different in my head, but I'm okay with it. You live and you learn. this one? Doesn't this one kind of look like the polar bear from the Klondike ads? I think it does. Bada bing, bada boom, all done. Tag sunken and huge, but done. And there you have it. Here, try this instead. Here we go. And there you have it. Save the Dugong cupcakes. That one kind of looks like an octopus. Some of them kind of look more like seaweed. That one I think more looks like a coral. And, I don't know, something out of a SpongeBob cartoon for the rest. What do y'all think? Thank you so much for watching today's On the Spectrum Kitchen. If you like what you saw, hit like, comment, subscribe, and share with your friends. Please follow me on Instagram and TikTok. I'll put the recipe in the description below if you ever want to make it yourself. Have a good day, everybody, and please, with your help, save the dugongs. Bye.